Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Chris, and today I want to give you my thoughts on a story that is circulating the internet right now of a raw vegan influencer that died of starvation. So first of all, this is a sad story of a woman that lost her life at a young age of 39. Her name was Zana Samsonova, and according to this, she was a well-known vegan influencer living in Malaysia with millions of followers over her social media account. She is self-described as only eating certain exotic fruit. There's other accounts of people saying that she would only eat durian and jackfruit. I did a little digging. I found a video of her drinking a smoothie, eating some avocado and some other fruit, which, if that's how she ate on a daily basis, it's hard to believe that she would die of starvation, because she would still get the food that she needed to keep her alive. So there could be very well eating disorder involved in here, although that's just a speculation at this point. All of the headlines say that she died of starvation, although a lot of the comments below have people blaming veganism and saying that veganism killed her, that she was a raw vegan that killed her, and sharing their own stories of being a vegan and getting sick and having to stop being a vegan. So first off, I want to address this because most of you guys already know this, but for those of you that don't, veganism isn't a diet. Veganism is a way of life that seeks to exclude exploitation of animals, whether you're eating them, wearing them, or exploiting them in some other way, shape, or form. It's not a diet. However, as a vegan, the foods I eat I would consider that to be my vegan diet. But if you're not a vegan, there is no vegan diet. It would more likely be called plant-based. And I think it's dangerous to extrapolate what you want out of a headline. If you further read down through this article, it says that her mother claims that she died of a cholera-like infection or disease. And then if you go a little bit further, it says that they don't know the official cause of death and they're looking into it. So I'm assuming they're doing an autopsy and they're still awaiting the official cause of death. So right now it's all speculation. But as far as veganism goes, back to that. If you're saying that veganism is unhealthy and it will make you sick, and this is a perfect example of it, I say that you need to take your health seriously. Nobody's going to do it other than yourself. So you got to be responsible for what you're doing. If you're a vegan, you can very well be a junk food vegan, or the foods that she was eating, they weren't junk food. They were very healthy, but she was only eating certain foods or starving herself, not eating it at all, according to the headline. We don't know for sure. If you don't eat, you will die. If you don't drink water, you will die. If you don't have shelter and you don't have air to breathe, these are things that are essential. No arguments. You cannot live without these things. You will die. And if you're not eating food, you will end up dead. As a vegan, again, you could be an unhealthy vegan or you could be a healthy vegan. The good thing is everything is available to us as a vegan to be healthy. And that's not me just saying that or living that. I'm a long-term vegan. I've been vegan for 29 years. And according to some of this logic out here, I should be malnourished or dead by now. And I'm not. I'm actually very healthy. Not only am I'm mentally and physically healthy, and I would argue that I'm probably in some of the best health that I've ever been in my entire life. And I've been eating nothing but vegan for the last 29 years. You can be a junk food vegan. You could decide that you want to eat some vegan potato chips and soda and eat this every day for the next 10 years. And maybe you won't die, but you will probably be unhealthy. You will probably not feel good, but you could do the same thing as an omnivore and not feel good after eating at Burger King only for 10 years, or just the potato chips and soda. And you can't blame being an omnivore or being a vegan on that. You can only blame yourself for restricting yourself and eating very poorly. The largest group of doctors and nutritionists that, well, this is their official statement, of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics that an appropriately planned vegetarian, including vegan diets are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits for the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. And these are appropriate for all stages of life. So from being an infant to being old age, including being pregnant. You can get everything you need from being a vegan. You can be healthy. If you're not eating certain foods, you might be lacking certain nutrients, vitamins, minerals that you might need. But that's like that in any diet. You could say that about the Mediterranean diet. You could say that about an omnivorous diet. You can't attack an entire diet because you are not properly eating. If you're not eating the right foods to get the right vitamins and nutrients, and you're also not taking supplements for that, well, that you only have yourself to blame for that. If you're not living in a place where you're getting adequate sunlight to make your own vitamin D3, then you are going to have to supplement that, which there's no problem with supplement. Or you could eat foods that are supplemented with that in the first place. A lot of plant milks are supplemented and fortified with vitamin D, and as well as B12. B12 is another thing that you'd be lacking as a raw vegan, especially a restrictive raw vegan. If you're only eating certain fruits and that's all you're doing, you are probably deficient in quite a few things. Vitamin B12 is a very important one. If you're not getting it, it can mess up your neurological system, your brain function, your heart, and it can be very dangerous. You can die if you don't have, if you get no B12. But luckily, a lot of things are fortified with B12, and it's very easy just to get a supplement of B12. So not a problem. And I've never had that problem being a vegan of, almost 30 years, 3 decades now. When I went vegan, it wasn't difficult. It was less convenient than it is now. We didn't have the things that we have now. We didn't have, well, first of all, we didn't have the information that we have. We didn't have the Google or YouTube or support groups on Facebook groups and stuff like that. It was by word of mouth, or you literally had to find a rare book at the library, which most people, I didn't do that. I didn't spend my time at the library. I just did my thing. I guess I felt good, and I was a junk food vegan for quite some time. I think all the way up until about 12 years ago, when I started really being cognizant of the things I ate and how healthy or bad they were for you. And that became important to me. And right now, I still eat junk food. I like junk food, but I balance it out. If I start feeling sluggish and it starts having a toll on my body, I know to start eating better foods, and I balance that out. So you got to kind of know your own body. And the good thing is you know your own body better than anyone else. It's the only body we're going to get. That's why I look at it in such a way that, health is so important to us. It's the only body that we'll ever have. So, I want to treat it right. I don't want to put poisons in my body. I don't want people to think because of this article that going vegan is going to kill them, because that's not the case. I know several other, this is anecdotal, but I know so many people throughout my vegan lifetime that are vegan. Some of them have been vegan for, a couple of years, some of them as long as me, and some of them longer than me. And everyone's doing great. I have, nieces and nephews that were born that were vegan and are doing great. And I have family members that are vegan. It's the single best decision I had ever made, not knowing it at the time. So when I went vegan, I just did it. I didn't want to be part of this, cruelty towards animals. And I have a mindset of being a vegan. If you don't have that mindset of why you're vegan, you're likely plant-based. But to me, I have the reasons why I'm vegan, and I don't consider animal products to be food. I don't see them as food. Once you make that decision in your mind, to me it's poison. It's disgusting, and it's cruel, and it's no different than me trying to eat my phone. I can't eat my phone, and I can't eat an animal. So I look to other things that I can eat, and this is what I did early on. I said, what can I eat? If not animal products, then what? And luckily, there's literally hundreds of thousands of different foods out there, from, rice and grains, nuts and seeds, plants, veggies, fruits, mushrooms, seaweeds, everything out there that you can literally have millions of different combinations and putting these things together to make literally a different meal every time you eat. I know we're not going to do that every time because we like certain things and we're going to continue to eat certain things. But there's enough different things out there to make literally unlimited combinations of different foods that you've never had. And you can do this and be extremely healthy. You could do this and be unhealthy. It's up to you. That's the good thing about it. But you can't blame a whole diet on, somebody that did something wrong. People get mad about that too. Oh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Well, yeah. If you start eating certain foods and you don't feel good, you got to realize if you're transitioning into foods that you haven't had before, that you got to give it a little bit of time, and you got to figure out what foods you need, what foods you might be lacking, and what foods make you feel good and what foods don't make you feel good. Believe me, they're out there. You can do it. Everyone can do it. All of these scientists or doctors, they wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't true. I'm living proof of it. I've never had a problem with it. And I have many people that I know that are also doing great to this day. Some of these people have been vegan for 30 to 50 years. I know people that have been vegan for over 50 years. I think it's the right thing to do. I think a lot of people hate on veganism, but it's really an altruistic thing. It's an all-around right thing to do, and it's good for everybody. If this scares you and you're not vegan, or you are vegan and this article scares you, I'm telling you that this is completely taken out of context. And again, we don't know the actual cause of death just yet. It could be something other than starvation too. We don't know that. What we do know is it's not veganism that killed somebody. And anybody that says anything that people died from being vegan, it's not true. There's nowhere where somebody died from being vegan. People die from being malnourished. People die from starvation, from calorie restriction, from not eating, but they don't die from veganism. It's just not a thing. Anybody that might have been thinking about going vegan and decided not to after they read this article, go vegan. It's the best advice I could ever give you. So other than that, I just want to say I don't normally do these kind of videos. I have in the past, but it's been quite a while since I've given my insights on a current event like this. If it's something you want to see more of, I'm willing to do more. I've been doing a lot of campfire videos, making foods in a Dutch oven, which have been amazing and delicious. I just did a pizza one. Check out my channel for those. And other than that, stay safe, watch out for zombies, anti-vegans, and I'll see you guys next time.